Hey, Coach Ernie.
Hey, hi.
How are you?
Pretty good. How's everybody?
What's up,
Good, good.
Ernie?
Hey,
Our
Anton.
mask
Are
available
we
for the
gonna
market already?
are we gonna say something about Paul's dad?
Yeah, we're I think after making introductions, and we're gonna start with a
Yeah.
short minute of silence for Paul's dad.
Okay,
Delve
no
your life
problem.
now,
Thank
no?
you.
Delve your life.
Right? Okay. Good afternoon and welcome to the 2021 Philippines Football League season kickoff. This is our virtual kickoff. Like to welcome everyone from our friends from the media, our fans who have logged in and registered to this webinar. We are live on One Play Sports as well as the Philippines Football League Facebook page. My name is Sidaf Tupas and I'm with some of the most important people in the Philippines Football League. I want to start by introducing Eric Gochak, one of the owners of United City FC. Eric, good afternoon, live from Dubai, I believe. We also
Yeah,
have Jing
Manila.
Ham.
From Manila. Back in Manila. Thank you,
Back
Sidel.
in Manila already. All
You
right,
don't
that was
recognize my
quick.
background.
Yeah, okay. We also have Jing Ham Lang, the media officer of Kaya Football Club. And next up, we have Coach Ernie Nieras of Stallion Laguna FC. And we also have Carl Tan, one of the board members of Mendiola Football Club, and of course, Anton Del Rosario, the captain, the owner, and probably everything, the heart and soul of Maharlika Manila FC. Good afternoon, gentlemen. Before we start, I would like to request everyone for a moment of silence for in prayer for the passing of the father of Kaya General Manager Paul Tolentino, Mr. Garth Noel Tolentino passed away last night. So I'd like to request everyone for just a short moment of silence to in prayer. Thank you very much. Of course, again, we'd like to welcome our webinar participants. There are 21 attendees. Of course, we have 5 panelists here. I think Mr. Paul Tolentino will be joining us later on, as he is still, of course, attending to personal matters. But let us get the ball rolling. Of course, we'll start with our reigning champions, United City FC. Let's check in on Mr. Eric Gottschalk. Eric, how has the off season been for you guys? You had some big news, no, yesterday actually, with the signing of Anthony Pintos, your goalkeeper. How is everything with the club?
Yeah, well, usually, off season is not off season. So after the season is before the season. So we never really stopped working. And it has been, there's a lot of stuff that we still have to take care of, obviously, with 2021 now just around the corner with our season. But we will talk about this one later on. Yeah, things are building up nicely. All December was pretty much occupied with making sure that all the legal documentation is in place, and we're very happy that now the licensing and everything has been transferred and has been submitted to the PFF, and that's why we're also in the draw on the 27th for the AFC Champions League. So everything has been sorted and is on track. So that was the first step. Second step now is obviously looking at the squad. We have a good skeleton team prepared and ready, but the one thing that we wanted to make sure is that we have our foundation in place, and foundation starts with your goalkeeper. And Anthony Pintos, he did a great job for us. He's a super talented kid. And we, from the start of the season, we already started talking with Scott and Dan and everybody to make sure that he can remain with us. So we now finally signed all the documents, and Anthony is going to be now a permanent player on our roster. Other things that are in the in the works, and I cannot say too much yet, but we're getting closer and closer of announcing where we're going to have our home ground, what's happening with our academies, and all these little things. So we're working very hard on this one, and I'm sure that maybe within the next 2 or 3 weeks, we're going to have exciting announcement of to say where our plans are going to materialize. And other than that, it's been very busy. As you've seen, we've been launching our merchandise line. So I think this is I think we're one of the forerunners now. I know that Mendiola with FAT has a great agreement in place, and you guys are opening a merchandise store. But with our merchandise line, we've been able to now have a partner on board that is able to produce actually to retail quality. And retail quality means that if you want to see our shirts hanging next to a Barcelona shirt, then we need to make sure that hang tags are there, washing instructions are there, proper packaging, and all of this stuff. So we've signed a nice agreement with a production company that's doing all of our merchandise now, and they will be able to do turnkey logistics for us. So it means you order it, they send it to you, and it's in the same delivery and the same quality than what you would expect when you go to Toby Sports or any of the other major stores trying to buy some merchandise related to football. And then obviously we've been working very hard on trying to make sure that at least the foundation is in place to really build a fan base. And the fan base has to do with making sure that that fans can register as a member with the club. We're not after likes on our Facebook page. We are after real connections with our fans, and so fans now have a chance to register with the club, and they will get a digital code, and they will get their membership card. And the same thing is we've put some policies and procedures in place for groups of fans to create their own fan clubs. And with the UCFC's Lady Reapers out of Iloilo, I mean, we were very happy that the first fan club is a ladies only club. So that was quite exciting, and that's great news. And this is something that we're going to continue building on, because if we want to spread football, if we want to make sure that people get interested, we need more than just showing matches maybe on TV or having our guys running around. We need to be able to, on a daily basis, to connect and to engage with the fans. Other than that, I'm extremely happy and pleased that we are able to put this kind of a group together, that all the 6 clubs have volunteered. I mean, everybody's volunteering their time to make sure that we're brainstorming of how we can develop football, how we can help the league. And it's amazing to see that everybody is on board of trying to make sure that the 2021 season will be the best season that the PFL had so far. So thank you, Sadev. All the best to you as well.
Thank you so much, Eric. That was quite long. You've been very busy during the off season, and you're right. It hasn't been an off season for you, because I've seen you. You've been going around the country. Just in Luzon, and visiting some possible sites, meeting some people. So that's great to hear that there are some key developments from your end, and also I had really admired this initiative that all the clubs have banded together and put together some more promotional efforts for the league, of course, and of course for individual clubs. I want to move also, we will have a question and answer portion later. We'll have our webinar participants to field in some of their questions. We're just gonna select them because we will only have 1 hour for this webinar, but we'll be back later on with you as well, Eric. But I want to move on to Coach Ernie. Coach Ernie, how is the Stallion Laguna so far? Your season was cut short. You weren't able to play your last game, but I've seen some of your players. They're starting to get into shape.
Well, I mean, we didn't have the season that we desired to have, last season, because of various reasons. But it is what it is. I'm not going to make any excuses for that. So we just have to regroup and make sure we come better prepared for this coming season. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of changes here and there when it comes to players from team to team, but even with Stallions, I'm sure that's going to happen as well. So I'm just happy that we're able to continue from 2020 to 2021, knowing that the challenges that we went through. Hopefully we'll be able to play games also in Binyan for the 2021 season. So we look forward to going back to our home stadium and playing matches there as well. Um, but I'm happy on how the new teams that participated, Maharlika ADT. I'm happy how they did, and hopefully we'll have a few more teams joining us this season, and we'll have more games for the fans to enjoy. And silent, Sidel.
Coach, just a quick follow up because you're not able to play in Binyan this year because we were all in a bubble in Carmona.
Mhm.
Is there a possibility that Binyan, that football stadium, will be used, for the PFL? I mean, granting that
Yeah.
are fought.
Yeah, it depends. Like I said, it depends on what happens again with our lockdown situation and everything. But if things just maintain itself the way it is, and right now the field is actually the stadium is actually open for joggers, and pretty soon we'll also have practice sessions there as well. It depends again on the safety protocols and what IATF and GAB allows us to do. But yeah, hopefully we'll have games there also as well.
That's great. That's great to hear, Coach. And of course, we're hoping that the situation improves in the coming months. I want to jump to Carl first before for moving to Marlica and Kaya. Carl, um,
Yes.
how's Mendiola? It's actually very impressed with the way the club performed last season. How are you building towards the 2021 season of the PFL?
Oh, thanks for having us. First and foremost, first off, I want to congratulate also the organizers of PFL for a successful season last year. And regarding 2021, we're really focusing on the youth development. So we might lose some players, but we will be adding some young ones, and we're going to make our lineup very, very, very young and youthful. And I hope better season for us. Hopefully.
Well, it looks like you're already laid down a marker for the rest of the PFL. You all want the young guys, huh? You all want the younger players.
Yeah. And it's we want to contribute to Philippine football. So giving these youngsters a chance to show their skills and showcase it, it's the biggest stage for them locally. So we ought to give it to them, especially those who have humble beginnings, who are from the province and have no other leverage except the football field. So we're hoping to give them that opportunity.
But how happy were you with some of their young guys last year with the league, the likes of Kenry Balobo,
Mhm.
of course Ashley Flores has been there. He's already a veteran at this stage, but yeah, someone like Kenry Balobo who really boosted his stock. Will we
Well,
see him back from Yola?
most likely, yes. I've seen him playing since he was a little boy, so since his high school days in Sundada. So I'm very, very proud with the way he performed last season. It was a surprise when he started, and I really hope that he can progress more. And all the other players stepped up. We lost some players due to the COVID, and the guys who stepped in performed, and we really, really let them know that we really appreciated everything that they gave for the club. And I hope this season, through that experience, they'd be able to give it more and somewhat give it a higher notch this season.
All right, and we've talked off the air earlier. Just talk about a possible the possible link up with an LGU or a home field in the future for
Yeah,
you?
the link up with the LGU, it's in the works. I can't disclose right now, but it's in the works. As for the field, we are trying to fix everything. It's going to be located in San Beda Taytay. As I told you earlier, it's kind of complicated because it's located in between. It's in a mountainous area, so it's a major renovation for the whole facade of the school. It's going to be in a school in Taytay, so it's going to be a major renovation, so major construction. So it will take some time and a lot of money. So we're still trying to get more support for it. So yeah, it's going to be a world class. It's going to be a world class facility. So yeah,
Wow,
we're excited.
that's very exciting. Okay, thank you for that, Carl. We'll be back later for the Q&A.
Thank you.
We'll bring in Jing, of course, the media officer of Kaya, and of course, we'd like to welcome Mr. Paul Tolentino, the general manager of Kaya. Paul, thank you for joining us. I know it's been a quite a difficult time. We're praying for you and your family. The whole Philippine football community is here to give you comfort if you need it. Uh, just talk about some updates with the club. Uh, Either of you can answer the question.
Hey, Sadelf, appreciate you having us here this afternoon. I was just here as a stopgap until Paul Tolentino could speak to you guys in person. He has arrived and he can address all of the things regarding Kaya much better than me. So that's it for me. A very short cameo. Just wanted to say hello to everyone. And Paul, you can take it away.
Thank you, Jing. Thank you, Sadel. Appreciate the thoughts. But yeah, happy to be here. Apologies to everyone for being a little bit late, but happy to be here and happy to join everyone.
Yeah. Paul, can you just talk us through the build up for season 2021? You also have, like, United City FC, of course, is going to the AFC Champions League. Kaya Iloilo is also going to the qualifying stage of the AFC Champions League. How is your squad building up for that one?
Yeah, I mean, we're very excited to get a taste, even if it's just one promised match of a qualifier, and then if we win that, then we're able to play more matches. But it's a different level there, and I really want to expose our players, especially all the long-time core local Filipino players that have been on the squad, to really get a feel and a taste for what football at that level is like and how challenging it might be. But this is the level that they all say they want to play in. So until you really get a feel for it and compete at that level, they're never going to know and never going to grow, essentially. Preparations wise, we're in a wait and see. We're very excited for the draw on the 27th for AFC to at least give us some semblance of a schedule. And really from there is when the preparations will ramp up. Obviously, we still have a couple players and a couple core players that we wish to keep, a couple players still under contract. And, we're excited to bring them along. But the big decisions will really come in the next few weeks once we have a clear schedule.
Yeah, that's so pretty much wait and see. Also with Eric and United City, they're also awaiting their fate in the AFC Champions League. But Paul, your club has been very busy with giving back to the community. There was this initiative right at the end of last season with helping out and the victims to the victims of Typhoon Ulysses, and of course it has been I think Kaya has really been has spearheaded some efforts on with regards to charity work, and of course with the LB in coordination with the LBC Foundation. Just talk about that a little bit about your CSR efforts.
I think in terms of CSR, it's something we're passionate about, and something Kaya has always been about is bringing people together. I think maybe not the clearest description, but in giving back this season, really we want to focus on giving back to the fans. So, despite the difficult year, not being able to play in front of fans at all, um, and then not being able to play in Iloilo specifically, which is the home city we're representing, it's been extremely difficult from our point of view. However, we've been extremely blessed and grateful that the fans have still been very engaged. They're still very supportive. They send messages to the club, to the players, um, and are giving us a lot of love. So we really feel like it's our turn to give back. And some of the initiatives we're really looking towards there is really starting with creating the membership, right? So membership into the Kaya Club, and with that comes more access for the fans, more information, more goodies, basically, which hopefully is a trend and a path that keeps them around, more engaged, and continuously supporting the club.
So to all the Kaya fans, you heard it from Mr. Paul Tolentino. There will be an opportunity for membership as well. Think United City has done that as well. So there will be you'll get to have the Kaya merch that Paul is wearing right now. Very nice shirt there. Also, Paul, last year I think one of there have been lot of things happened last year, but for Kaya, you also lost one of the club's founding members. Rudy De Rosario. Just talk about his impact on the existence of Kaya.
Rudy's, a founding pillar of the club. Anton knows him very well as well, having played for Kaya for many years. Rudy was the essence of Kaya. Not to diminish the other founders and the other owners and all of that. They're all a big part of it, but Rudy had a different spirit. Rudy had a different energy about him that guys just gravitated towards. And Rudy really believed in the power of football to shape lives, bring people together, and make those lives better for everyone. And it was very, very difficult. Rudy wasn't the only main player in the club that was lost last year. We also lost one of the academy directors in Iñaki Vicente, right? But yeah, with Rudy, we won't be announcing right now, but the club is looking into the many ways, and we're also asking the other former Kaya alumni to come forward and give us some ideas on how best to honor him, right? And how best the club will be honoring him moving forward. There are a couple nice ideas. We're definitely going to be taking some of those, but we really want it to be meaningful, and we want it to be something that properly represents what he meant for the club. So we're not taking it lightly. We're not just jumping in and saying, "Hey, this is what we're going to do." It's it's something that we really want to be well thought out.
That's great. That's great. We'll be back with you later, Paul, for the Q&A. I want to switch over to Anton. Anton, it's been a great ride so far for Maharlika Manila FC. We've earned a lot of fans, won a lot of hearts in the previous season with some very very spirited performances. What's the update on the club?
Well, first, pleasure to be here. All of the other managers over here, well done. Happy we're all able to put this together. We definitely need to keep on doing this for the PFL. And I don't know, figure out ways to be able to promote what we're looking to do here, right? Next thing I do want to say is prayers to you over there, Paul, and for your dad. I knew Mr. Tolentino very well. Great support of the sport. Sport lost a good person, but going forward for the club, we just started training, so we're doing our online training sessions already. What we're going Wednesdays and Fridays, so it's open to the public. Come join. People might know from last season, we ran a program called Pisang Pangarap. That's going to be kicking off. We'll be announcing that very soon. we're looking at doing it a little bit bigger this year, so or this season. So we're looking forward to being able to kick that off, because I mean, it's nothing like being able to give that opportunity to everybody to be able to live their dream, you know. And that's what we want to be able to do as a club. We want to be able to, I guess, be able to, I guess, give a pathway to anybody who wants to try and fulfill their dreams, whether it was a dream before and then they had to stop, or whether it's a kid that wants to fulfill it, you know. So that's what we're going to be focused on up until we get more updates about the league. But I mean, you know, I'm very happy with how the club performed last season. It was unbelievable. You know, sometimes we feel like we came up short, but unbelievable what was accomplished. You know, I couldn't be happier with the squad, with the players, stepping out there every time on the field. You knew that they were given 100%. And for them to come out of the atmosphere that they came out of, not even ready to be professional footballers for the season, you know, getting a call 2 months before and coming out and accomplishing what they accomplished, you know, they're proper idols, people who should be idolized for the sport, you know, coming out here doing it for the love.
Yeah, and you know, we uncovered several gems last season, the likes of MJ Libre, and you know, just very fun to watch. Maharlika on. Actually, what I liked about last season is that every team, every club had its own moment of, you know, moment of brilliance. So that was showcased by the league, and also Aton, just talk about that partnership with the LGU Manila. I'm hopeful that pretty soon you'll be playing very close to the or within the city, you know, when everything is you know, everything is already okay, right?
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, you know, we've been talking a lot about the things that we're looking to do. We definitely want to focus on the city of Manila. You know, we want to start building a relationship with the communities within, you know, through Congresswoman Cristal Bhagat Singh. You know, she was the one who sort of pushed us forward as a club to be able to get the partnership with the city. And we definitely want to focus on her district, District 5 of Manila, to be able to start rooting a Maharlika program for the youth. So that's what we'll be looking to do once football starts opening up. We'll definitely be having our players as coaches to start engaging with, especially the youth, the community over there in Manila, because we want to start building from within the city, touching base with the community, growing it out within the city, and then showing that we actually care about the future of the sport within Manila.
Where is the District 5? Which barangays are covered here? Is Tondo part of District 5?
No, I believe Tondo is district. Shoot, I couldn't tell you which one Tondo is exactly. You know, when it comes down to the district, I couldn't tell you specifically which one it was.
Yeah,
You know?
it's okay, but
Yeah.
any you know, in the future, are you seeing Rizal as a home field for you guys, especially there?
I mean, of course, that's something, you know, in time, when the timing is right, and Mayor Isco isn't too busy, it's something that we're hoping to be able to bring up to him, because we definitely want to turn, you know, what is sort of the heartbeat of football here in, I guess, the Metro, for I guess all the national team games. We'd love to have that as our home stadium. I'd be able to turn that into a nice festive event where people would be able to come week in, week out, looking forward to games.
Yeah, that's great though. Hopefully, when this pandemic is over, we can do that. But you know, I've been allowed to tell you guys that you know, and all of our Philippines Football League fans and followers that we're the league is looking at to kick off in April with the PFL Cup, with the Copa Paulino Alcantara, with the league possibly kicking off after the June FIFA window. So that should be great news for everyone. And I think answer some sort of some of the questions that you have. For with regards to you guys being able to plan ahead. As for now, the only way that football for professional football can restart is through a bubble, similar to last season where we had a 3-week bubble in Seda, Nuvali, and of course in Carmona, Cavite. So the league will be finalizing the date in probably in the next couple of weeks, so that all of everyone can prepare for the upcoming season. And it is and of course there have been talks of a new club or clubs coming in. The league will be announcing that in due time as well. But this is a terrific initiative from all the clubs. Unfortunately, Aska's development team cannot send in a representative for this one, but this is a great initiative that undertaken by of course you, the clubs, for just more engagement and more and promoting the league for this season. And it's a very proactive approach. Just now with April looming as kickoff, how does it impact the preparations for everyone? And I think before you answer that, there was actually a poll that is actually we've seen the last few days with 55% of fans actually want an early start and not wait for the vaccine. This was a survey done by the clubs, Eric, Coach Ernie, Paul. So this is it actually favors what they want, this early start to the season in April.
So I just got a message from Dan. He sends his apologies. He's in Tacloban right now, and because of the weather there, he has a hard problem logging into to the webinar that we have right now.
Okay. Yeah, let's start with Eric. With the kickoff being seen as April.
Well, if we're looking at football, we want it already to be in practice already, because the players cannot afford another several months being out of a job and being out of training. So the earlier we can start, the better. At the same time, we need to make sure that the format suits everybody. I'm all for an early start. So when we all got together, that was one of the things that we discussed. I said, maybe we can have our cup competition starting before the actual league starts and the season starts, because Paul and I were going to play in Asian competitions. The ASCALs are going ahead by the end of May, beginning of June with their qualifiers. So if the players have not participated, if they have not trained for 5-6 months, it's going to put everybody at a huge disadvantage. So an early season start is obviously going to be in everybody's benefit. From our side, in terms of our squad and our team, as a lot of people have already noticed, some of the players have started playing overseas, and we have released some players because, again, we were not able to guarantee them when the season will start. So if we're looking at a season start in July, by that time, we will probably have our full squad back together. But we have released some players to play in Thailand or play in their home countries in the meantime, so that they can earn some money and that they can stay in shape. So with us playing in April, again, we're going to look at youth players. We're going to field a very young team. We want to compete. We don't want to hold anything back. But we're looking forward to the regular season when all of our star players are probably then going to be joining us again.
Wow. So some of the guys might come back and power your bid for another trophy later this year. But as you mentioned, the earlier the better. But there will be further discussions on the protocols, of course, even in training, and of course, the bubble setup again that might be implemented for the season, because the Games and Amusements Board and of course the IATF will be will be checking and approving the guidelines for the next season as well. So of course we'll still be guided by government directives. Paul, it should impact your preparation as well for the Champions League and of course maybe the AFC Cup.
Absolutely. I mean, I think we're all one here together and wanting to play sooner rather than later. Obviously, the right setup has to be agreed upon by everybody, all the stakeholders, not just the clubs. You know, it's the league, it's the officials, it's everyone, the broadcasters, all of this stuff. There is, again, we're waiting for the 27th for what might be more finalized dates by AFC, but there is the possibility that the qualifier would be played around the middle or third week of April, which, you know, normally preseason would start 8 weeks prior to that. So we're coming up to it. Starting in April would at least allow us more preparation, I suppose, more active competition. However, if the competition were to start in May, that would be okay for us as well, because it really comes down to what makes sense and what's safe for everyone. But yeah, definitely, I echo what Eric was saying. I think overall as a league should be starting before the local participants that are going to represent the country are competing in their competitions across the region, and also in support of the national team. You know, we want our national team players to be sharp and not like treating a friendly, or more importantly, a qualifying match as a preseason, right? We want these players in good shape, good form, and be able to compete without any risk of injury. So I think it bodes well for everybody. And I think that's the pattern the league was really trying to get to. And, you know, having schedules already posted October for the following year, but COVID obviously changed that. So
Yeah.
a little more uncertain at this point.
Yeah. How about you, Coach Ernie? Just your reaction to a possible April kickoff?
Well, to me, it's good. You know, I mean, there's something like I said. You know, the group got together, and we were really hoping. And we were discussing this with Coco and the PFF, and everybody's working together to get football restarted sooner, much sooner than later. You know, but for the club itself, you know, for Stallions, like I said, we didn't perform well last year because of situation we got into. Now we're hearing a bubble again, and I'm starting to shake again. I'm like, oh my God, not again. Okay, so I'm gonna make sure that we do better, making sure that we don't fail any COVID test this time around. You know, and but there's gonna be good changes on the side of Stallions. Gilligan's is still gonna be our major sponsor, but then we have a second partner that we signed for this coming season. So at least salary wise, I have salary that I can pay for my players to start training. You know, which is a good thing just for anybody, because it's a challenge. You know, it's not just this COVID thing. You know, we have to understand that it didn't affect the teams, but the businesses behind the teams as
Yeah.
well. You know, so it's a miracle that a lot of these teams that we still survived. You know, with their businesses and our fan base and everything. So everybody's just looking forward to getting back there. But from our team itself, even for Stallions, there's going to be major changes along the way. I hope they're good changes. And we'll be signing a few players to help strengthen the squad. And just like any other season, there's going to be a few players also moving on and doing other things. So that's part of life. You have to learn how to accept that. But I think with how the team owners, the club owners, representatives are starting to work together right now, this is the best example that we can share with the fans. We want everybody to know that we're here for our fans, and that's why the PFL club owners and potentially the other teams who will be joining us in the future will share the same sentiments, and we'll be able to work together to come up with a good product. Yes, we're going to still kill each other on the pitch during game day, but behind the scenes, we promise you that all the club owners, all the club representatives, coaches, players, we're going to work together to make sure that we come up with a really nice package, a product and a system that will allow Philippine Football League and to improve, and in turn also improve our national team standings.
Yeah, very important, coach, that our fans know that the clubs are together, and in cooperating and uniting for a common goal to take the league to even greater heights. Carl, wanna get your reaction on the April kickoff?
Yeah, we're all for it. I heard from Eric that most of his star players are out, right? So maybe you can start in February. Just joking, just joking. Kidding aside, we're all for it. The earlier, the better. Of course, the safety protocols are the most important things, and we've experienced it. Our team and Coach Ernie's team, it's really stressful. We've had sleepless nights, and credits to our backroom staff and everyone the management team who handled everything on site, and it was really grueling for us. Those in the house, we couldn't go out. Yeah, it was a nightmare. Yeah, so safety first, and for as long as everything is okay, we're up for the early kickoff. Yeah.
Wow.
And hopefully February, Eric. We're okay. If we can start February, why not, Eric? Right?
Yeah, even Paul's team is not complete by that time.
Yeah.
January, because he only has one player. He only has a goalkeeper. We can start tomorrow.
Anton, this is our chance. Maybe February, right?
We do
Anton can just call up his Tondo boys and
anytime. You let me know. I'm ready.
We playing Anton Sevens League or what?
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Let's go.
Still competitive for
Anton
that.
is still suspended from last season. He still hasn't served his 10 red cards. He got 10 red cards in one game. So
yeah, Anton, go ahead.
Man.
Just how are you for the April kickoff? How are you gearing up for this?
Hey, I'm ecstatic that we actually have a day that we could target. This is something I really think everybody needed, because now we all have something to look forward to and to build to. Now I know as Maharlika, when we definitely need to come up with our players and our final listings and everything. And now we know how to be able to run up, because, our club's not the same as all of the other clubs, and how we operate. So it's a whole different sort of structure behind us and how we operate. So I definitely needed that, so then I could do all my timing to prepare for the competition. Now, knowing that it's April, now I'll have to go do some digging, because I'm trying to put a team together to be able to take all these guys out.
You'll still have some of your players, right?
Oh yeah. And people are excited. Our guys are ready. And I really think it's going to be fun, the next competition. Yeah, looking forward to it.
Is the club going to sign you, Anton? Are you going to be able to play? Are you having talks already with the club to play again?
I don't know about that, man.
not if the referees can do something about it.
Oh man. Well, let's hope all of that's in the past now, Ernie. One season at a time.
Eric, you want to sign Anton since you don't have players yet, Eric? You want to sign Anton?
No, we have a strong philosophy of bringing in younger players. So Anton, maybe your son or someone, you're going to look at him in a couple of years.
That's harsh. You're harsh, Eric.
It's honest.
Hey, Anton, that's going to give you enough fuel, Anton. 10-0, and then that statement from Eric's gonna be enough fuel for you, man.
Hey, I'm happy.
Hey,
As long as I can move out there and the oldest man out there, hey, I'll be happy, dude. You know, as long as I'm stepping on the field, trying to show these young guys and competing with them. All right.
I think I'm gonna put my cleats back on just so that I can say I'll be the oldest man playing in the PFL. Just even for 2 minutes, just so that I can say that.
Coach, you have to get your GAB license, or your pro
I
license.
do.
Are we pushing the
I do. I
PFL
have
or
one,
seniors
but
league?
as a coach,
As a,
I don't think they'll give me one as a player.
yeah, so we have questions coming in from our from our forum here. Um, okay, let's start maybe with these are questions from John Patrick Mercado. Um, start with I'll still stay with Anton. Anton, this is for you. What will be your plans moving forward for a more sustainable club in order to sign big players and be more competitive since you just started last season? So how do you sustain and develop from last season? It's a
Yeah,
great
well,
question.
that's what we're looking to do right now, and that's why we're taking it one step at a time. We're not out here trying to compete to win championships. You know, it's a difficult thing, and we're always going to try to field a team that can compete to try and do so. But honestly, it's something that us and our fans can't expect right away. We have to focus on building a foundation to be able to operate this and make this sustainable for all the players in the future. So in order to do that, we have to build our fan bases. We have to be able to build our media value. We have to be able to build, a home ground or a home field and partner with the right people to be able to make all of it work. And right now, that's what we're focused on. We're focused on making sure that these processes are in place to have a sustainable team in the future where we're actually operating as a business, but also as a successful club at the same time.
Wow. Okay. So you still have some of your big players, of course. I hopefully Waco can play this time.
Hey, that's why these guys are saying they had struggles with, with the testing and stuff. Hey, we lost two of our major players. We lost our captain and then our other foreigner coming in. But it's all part of it. That's the world we're living in right now, and these things are going to happen. So we have to just roll with it and then just put our best foot forward and make sure that everybody stepping on the field is giving their 100%.
Yeah, but Anton, you lost your player. You got to train. Me and Mendiola, we lost our players, and we didn't train. So that was the hard part. Not losing the player, not being able to train was the hard part.
Yes,
So 1 week
yes.
not being able to train, that was the part that was difficult for us. Not
I
losing the player.
know. I hear you. I hear you. I
Yeah.
hear you.
Yeah.
And it looks like Serge Caule is also on the road to recovery as well, Anton. So
Oh
Boy,
yeah.
I
I
keep
mean,
hearing these. I keep hearing these former Stallion players from Anton. What's going on with this?
you had some great
Caule.
players. You had great players come out of your
I'm,
program
I'm
over there,
happy.
Ernie.
I'm happy they're still playing. I'm happy. I'm happy that you guys really played hard against us and you won against us. Because that was really good. That was a really good game. That was really good win.
It was a good
Wow.
game. I was very, very proud of those guys. Jeremy came on there. Like I said, in one of the interviews, he started crying afterwards because he hadn't been playing in 2 years. And for him to be able to come out, score the winning goal, these are the stories that we want to hear, and I think the football community wants to hear. That it's there. You can live your dream. You can be a professional. Everybody's got to be able to take that risk. Everybody's got to be able to trust the PFL. And I believe once people start doing that, we're going to start seeing a lot more teams popping up, and we're going to see a lot more competition within the PFL itself.
Great, guys. We'll move on to Kaya. Wow, this is kind of heavy, but I don't think it was a disappointing performance last season, but Yeah, Paul, what do you think were some of the, what was your assessment of last season, and how can you improve for this season to,
You're being nice.
rephrase the question?
You're being nice. You can ask the question the way it was written. No,
Yeah,
actually, I'll take the question straight up the way it was written. I'm actually, it's kind of flattering that people would consider a second place finish as disappointing for our club. That means that even the fans, the media, and the other people actually would have expected us to win a championship. So, sometimes you get blinded with your own ambition, and the club's not actually capable of reaching that target. But the fact that the media thought that it was possible, I think it's a bit of a compliment. Obviously, we fell short, and we're not hiding from that fact either. To be frank, we created a lot of chances and couldn't finish. We can talk about the difficulty of the schedule and the lack of recovery, and of course, all of those are factors. But those are factors that affected all clubs, right? We too lost players. We had two key foreign players, similar to Maharlika, who obviously did not miss games due to testing protocols and COVID and all those things, but because of injuries and not being able to recover in time. So for next season, I actually think the club is going in the right direction in terms of the style of play, the key pieces that we have in the club. So it's really a matter of building on that and keeping some continuity going, so that players don't always have. It's not beneficial for players to be adjusting to new style of play and new coaches every single season. Makes it difficult, right? So I think keeping that consistent will naturally be better and easier for the players to adjust to and perform at a higher level. And with that, hopefully, those chances aren't just chances, but actually goals scored.
yeah. So we might see a new striker for Kaya, huh?
It's
Since
possible.
goals are the problem.
It's possible. It's not easy, obviously, as discussed earlier, because of the current situation. But yes, we're always looking to get better. That's for sure.
Okay. Thanks for that, Paul, and thanks for answering the real question. Now we go to, of course, Eric, United City, with some of your players. Of course, same guy asking the question, John Patrick Mercado, with some of your players going and signing abroad, and for sure, Bienve Marañon and Stefan Schrock have also received offers. How do you stay competitive with in the AFC Champions League, and what are your plans to stay relevant and competitive within not just in the PFL but in continental competitions?
Okay, let's go backwards. So the first thing is we got involved because we're trying to make a change within the local football. And that means we want to make sure that the local talent and the local players have a chance to compete. And that's the first thing that we actually have on our as our mission. So we're working at the moment of creating the youth academy. We're looking at girls to come in, having a women's team, these kind of things. At the moment, we still have a lot of quality in the team, and we're trying to retain this quality of the team, but not for any price. At the moment, football, we want to make football sustainable here. And we cannot pay the salaries and the money. We put the money behind with what previously has been put into some of these teams. It will grow over time, but I believe that we have a lot of talent available in the country, outside the country, that would fit the philosophy in the Philippines and our philosophy, and we're going to be competitive. At the moment, like I said, we still have a really, really good roster of players, and they will continue. Shreki needs to decide where he wants to spend his last few years before he's going to off for becoming a great coach. It looks like that we're going to keep him. Hopefully that's the case. With Bienve, we know that he's waiting for his Filipino passport. So I doubt that he would go abroad to play somewhere else if he now has a Filipino passport. So the same with some other players. So we're trying to keep whoever is around, but not for any price. So we're not going to break the bank of trying to sign some amazing players just so that we can win the local league or that we're competitive in Champions League. We are competitive in Champions League. We will give everybody a good run for their money, but we're not going to break the bank.
Right. Thank you for that. So that gives fans of United City some perspective on the direction of your club, where your club is going. And I think, of course, if we're all after sustainability, that is one approach that we can take. Um, Again, there's another question here from Aaron Bayato of Radio Pilipinas. A question to all teams. Hope Coach Ernie, you can start answering this one. Hopefully, if vaccines are available by the time 2021 season kicks off, would you be requiring your players, staff, and management to take the vaccine? Because I'm not sure if the vaccine will be in time for that April kickoff, but possibly, maybe in the second half of the season, another part where we'll be holding the league already, there might be a vaccine available. Coach Ernie, would you require your players and your staff to take that?
Let me answer first Patrick's first question, because you skipped me. So I'll answer. You might feel bad. So the question about how the emergence of the new teams, ADT and Maharlika, surpassing Stallions, what will be our approach for next season? Obviously, we're going to be adding new players, and hopefully, we don't encounter the same problems that we did last season. But with having a new sponsor on board, also will actually allow us to be able to sign some of those players. Now, with the vaccine, we're still not sure how this is going to work out. It really depends. At the end of the day, a lot of people are kind of looking for the PFF to make that decision. It won't be their decision. It's going to be the decision of IATF. All of us follow the IATF and DOH protocols. So based from that, if they allow teams to play, because even with the vaccine, they might still require the competition being in a bubble. They might still require all the safety protocols, because you don't know. We don't have enough data for the vaccine. Now, is it going to be mandatory? We still don't know, because what if some of the players don't actually want to take the vaccine? How are we going to deal with these things? You don't know. So it's still a big question, and I guess we really have to follow what IATF will be, and GAB, especially GAB, because under this we will fall under the auspices of the health protocols that GAB will put in place, because we are professionally. So it really depends, but I hope it will be different than what we went through last year. If it was a bubble, semi-bubble, or whatever it is, if it's going to be vaccine mandatory. But what the good thing that the PFF mentioned, and I spoke to the president the other day, is that the PFF is ready to pay for the vaccines for the players and the staff. They would actually rather have provide the vaccine for everybody, as well as financial assistance to the team, than have a mandatory bubble for the competitions. But again, it's out of their control. It really depends on what IATF and DOH requires.
Let me just quickly join in there, because we had this discussion internally. We might, it's everybody's personal decision if they want to get the vaccine or not. But if you're looking at it from a footballing point of view, and if you're looking at where this all goes with like a health passport for travel, what we will most likely do within our club, that before we sign players, we would require them their permission or their acceptance to get vaccinated. Because what I don't want to do is that we're having away matches where we are playing an AFC competition, and the AFC sets these matches up, and then the airlines and other government entities are saying that you can only travel when you have the vaccine, then suddenly we're going to lose a lot of the players. So I think we're going to be very upfront with our players of what needs to happen. But in order to be proactive, we will recommend the players to get vaccinated and give the permission that if it's required for participating, it will be one of the requirements from our side to sign with us, because we don't want to get into a trouble that players don't want to do it. If a player then doesn't want to do it, that's fine. But he needs to have the same choice as, if we're signing with Adidas and he plays with Nike, that he says, okay, I cannot join you. There's different reasons why players might not choose a club, which is beyond salaries or performance or so on. And this would be one of them. So I'm not sure what what the other gentlemen here on the call are going to think about this one, but we will ask the players, or we will tell them that it would be required to get vaccinated as part of the contract. So, and then it's everybody's player's choice beforehand, because we don't want to force somebody afterwards. We will tell them, we give them a choice beforehand.
Right. Gentlemen, Paul? Same question?
Yes, regarding the vaccine, I've actually had the same conversation with the PFF president as well, trying to assist on that front, as our sponsor is in those active talks and in the negotiations with the tripartite agreement. I don't think we can force anyone, or, I don't think you can force anyone to take the vaccine who doesn't want to take it. But like Eric said, and like Ernie said, if it's a requirement to compete, then these players have to make their decisions, whether they're comfortable enough to take it and want to take it to be able to compete, right? And secondly, if it's a requirement not just internationally to play AFC, but to play locally, if the player chooses not to, then you got to find players that are willing to take the vaccine and play with the vaccine. I'm hoping it doesn't get too complicated, whereas with the protocols by the government to be able to compete if players are actually already vaccinated and so on and so forth. But we really don't know what they're going to be requiring. So we'll try to be as compliant, also as understanding to the situation as possible.
Okay. Carl? And then we go to Anton.
Well, I think this has to be discussed thoroughly amongst all of us and the PFF, and rushing into a decision right now is medyo iffy, right? So I think I Ernie, Paul, and Eric, and maybe seeing how it goes first, and getting, not really forcing the players to have this. It's, we're not too sure about it, right? And in the end, we don't want to be liable for anything, and we don't want our players to get the negative effects of these vaccines, if there is any. So it has to be thoroughly discussed, and I guess that day will come. So we'll just wait for that one. Yeah. That's it
Right,
for me.
Anton?
Well, the vaccine, I mean, look, it's just like everybody said, it's something you can't force onto people. And it's got to be the choice of the player. Whatever rules are implemented, like Eric said, then those rules will be implemented. And that's when it comes down to the player's choice, right? So it's always going to be the player's choice. Whether the vaccine is forced upon him in some way, they have a choice to say no, or whether it's a rule that's made by the club or by FIFA. They're always going to have a choice, and whether that's to hang up their boots or take the vaccine, that's going to be the choice in the end. But then hopefully it doesn't come down to that. I know myself, I wouldn't take the vaccine. I sat there with Shraki also. Shraki saying he wouldn't take the vaccine. It's scary. I mean, the vaccine, not too many people know too much about it, so it's risky. But like we said, if it's something that's implemented by the teams or by the organizations itself, then in the end, it's going to be up to the players whether they step up to the plate to do it or not. I mean, it's crazy, but you look at how other leagues are going. You look at the NBA right now, right? You look at all these postponed games because they're running a sort of open operation over there. And you figure if that's happening over there and we even tried to do something outside the bubble, then those could be the same things happening over here if we tried to run it outside the bubble. So I really think that we're stuck in this whole bubble concept until a rule about the vaccine is enforced. And hopefully, I don't know, hopefully we figure something out soon.
Yeah, because you don't even know. I mean, what about those players who already had COVID? Do they still get vaccinated? Nobody can even answer that. I even talked to some doctors and said, if you have COVID, that should exempt you. They said no. So I also asked them, Will it stop us from doing all these health and safety protocols if all the players and staff are, vaccinated? Then there's no need for a bubble, right? And they're saying no, you still have to do the bubble. I mean, so we don't know. That's a medical question. Like I said, the powers maybe will make those decisions, and then the players will have to make their individual decisions. That's why I invented a mask instead of taking the vaccine. Because I'm not going to take it. That's why I invented the mask itself.
But you can't play with the mask on, coach.
Who said so?
You want to play
Who said
with
so?
the mask on?
Who
We
said
can run
so?
another poll for that. We can run another poll for that.
I have a mask for athletes. Don't worry.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this has been a very very insightful and enriching conversation. I think this is just one of the first of many. This is first of a series of webinars involving the PFL clubs. Of course, congratulations to everyone for taking this initiative as we continue to move towards the resumption of the season, the start of the season, 2021. Possibly in late April. Just one more question before we go, because this is for Eric. The draw is coming up of the AFC Champions League. Who would you like to face in the Champions League, and how can you guarantee the fans that despite the gap in quality, UCFC can stay competitive with the rest of the field?
Well, we have the second webinar on the 30th, which is right after the draw. So why don't we postpone this answer until after the draw? There's no favoritism. I mean, for me, it doesn't matter who we're playing, and anything we get to the squad. Let's have this discussion on the 27th. I think Paul and I have much more information for you following the draw. Let's postpone this until the 30th. But what we can announce, and this is something that came from, actually the initial idea came from Paul, was why are we not having a joint tryout between all of the clubs for looking at our local talent and giving them a chance? And I think we all have agreed that this is something that we want to do. And if the season now starts in April, then now it's up to us to figure out a date when we can actually bring these people in. So maybe we're going to be extremely competitive if we're doing a local joint tryout and we're picking some good players up here and there. But Paul, I mean, just Paul and Ernie, and also Anton, Carl, please jump in there. But I thought this is one of the great discussions that we had and the agreements that we had, that we wanted to do a joint tryout. So please join in there and say something about it.
It only shows to specifically also the program that we're doing. If people are not familiar, we are not the guest. The guest tonight is Sadelf. This program that we have, our guest is Sadelf. We are not the guest. You will see us for future. Yeah, you will see us in future webinars and podcasts. This is something that's going to be unique. And it starts off with like Paul, Anton, Eric, and everybody else agreeing that we're going to have a joint tryout. That's going to be very, very interesting. The format and everything, we're still going to talk about it, and obviously each team, each coach will have their approach and what they want to see. But guess what? There won't be any more players going from one tryout to the other tryout to another tryout. Obviously, it's going to be a short window for the tryouts. And then after that, each of us will go to our own tryouts. But for us, we're trying to show the fans and the players that you have all the PFL teams working together to make this league better. That's the main task. And with having a joint tryout, for me, that was a great idea.
Yeah. Wow. So just again, Paul, Carl, Anton, you can all chime in on this on this joint tryouts. We wanted to lead on to that conversation actually, but yeah, it will be. It should be fun. I think in the US they do that the combine, right? It's similar to that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So I mean, it's a great way. It's one of the things that the league should be doing, that all of us should be doing as team owners to be able to find ways to make it easier for people to have this opportunity. And I think it's a great opportunity. Who knows? Maybe it transitions into a draft type format later. You don't know. It's nothing certain. Nothing. We haven't talked about mechanics behind it, but it's definitely something that we're looking at doing as a group. And I think it's great for all the players out there. Start training, start getting in shape, because the next people on that field might be you.
I think that idea is very good. Also, I'd have agreed with Ernie. But right now, with the budget that we have, I think the testing to be done for that thing is kind of maybe when everything normalizes, that will be great, right? But it's
I
a good
think
idea. It's a good idea. Yeah.
I think the main thing for me is really it hopefully, and the reason it was brought up as well is it gives certain players who maybe are too shy or don't have connections to our six clubs to have an avenue in which they will be seen by all six clubs. Maybe a player only has a connection to Mendiola, so only Mendiola gets to see him. Maybe he only wants to play for one club, but he's afraid to contact them, or you know what I mean. It's also the mechanics and how it's going to work and the details we all still have to discuss and finalize. But it's also an opportunity. I'm hoping to tap players that not just in Metro Manila. Obviously, that's going to be a bit more difficult given the current circumstances with the virus still going around. But there should be no reason why a combine can't be held in the Visayas, in the Mindanao region, to find players there as well. There's a lot of talent all over the country, and I think they deserve to be showcased. And I think all clubs would benefit from getting access to more talent. It also then opens up the whole discussion on new teams coming on board, and they're going to need talent as well, right? And if we're just picking from the same group of players, nothing's really developing in my view.
Yeah.
It opens the door for everybody. Not only that, but ADT being part of this, the national team coaching staff gets to see all these players as well. So all this hidden talent that never got a chance, this is their chance. You got the 6, 7, or 8 teams plus the national team the coaching staff will be there to see what's going on, and to me that's a great promotion for Philippine football in general.
It is going to be fun. Maybe one, a player or two watching this webinar might be, compelled to start getting into shape tomorrow, in preparation for that combine coming up in probably the next in the next month or so. So Carl, you should advise some of your players not to show up for that tryout.
Yes. No. Of course, sharing is caring. So I'd be glad to bring this up with the coaching staff and the management of Mendiola. So let's see how it goes. Sharing is caring, right, Paul?
Yep.
Yeah.
I saw a whole bunch of players here in Alabang and Cuenca training yesterday. I have no idea how they got here, but they were here yesterday training with the Maharlika coach. So how, Anton, did you pull that off? I have no idea.
I wish, man. I wish.
No, I'm not kidding.
They can't train yet, huh? They can't train
No,
yet.
no, I'm not kidding. We had a whole bunch of players. I'm not going to mention names because I don't want them to get into trouble. But I was going to Starbucks in Cuenca, and I see them. I'm like, what? There's like 15 of them.
No photos,
Training.
coach, huh? No photos, huh?
I did. No. I'm just saying, what?
Maybe
Yeah.
just conditioning drills. Not
No,
like
it's good. It's good because everybody really wants to get back. And I spoke to them yesterday, and they're really excited. They had a lot of questions and concerns, and I'm sure some of them are watching really right now, and they just want to get back to playing. And the big thing about this that we keep we have to give credit to the PFF and the PFL, because through all this they will be assisting the clubs financially. They through the FIFA program, they're going to be helping us still we're still not out of the financial problem that we've suffered from last year, and the PFF still has funds allocated to help restart our league and everything. So that's the reason, one of the reasons that like when Eric when he brought this up to get together, is to actually proactively find sponsors so that we could actually help not just specific teams but our league to sustain. So our objective here is not just to promote, but also to look for sponsors to help us for our cup competition and our league competition.
Yeah. Although we do have Qatar Airways already on board as a sponsor, but of course, league is always welcome to have more companies helping them on, and of course, at least also get a TV deal as well for future competition. So the league can be watched, the matches can be watched by a larger audience. So just we can actually went past our time slot, but Mr. Gochak said it is okay because we've had this very meaningful and insightful discussion. Just probably a message to your fans just before we say goodbye to everyone participating in this webinar.
From my
Do you want
side,
to start off with?
Who's going
Go ahead.
first?
Go ahead.
Anton, go ahead.
All right. First, I want to say thank you to all of our sponsors, starting off with AIA Filiam Life, Reparo, Arepa, and then Calus Comics and the rest. Thank you very much for always supporting. Next thing, shout out to the city of Manila and all of the 12th man clubs out there. We got fan clubs in, I think, 6 or 7 different cities across the country now. So thank you all for supporting. We appreciate you guys. Keep on supporting. We'll keep you guys posted. Sugod Maharlika.
Thanks for that, Anton. Carl, you want to go next?
Right. All right. First and foremost, thanks to our sponsor as well, Penson and Company, and also to the whole Bedon community who's been supporting our club, and the Bedon priests who've given the go signal to, so give these players to us for the duration of the PFL seasons. Hopefully you guys can visit our website. That's mendiolafc.com. We have a bright 2021 ahead because it's our 30th year. We're celebrating our 30th year in existence, and supposedly we had a lot in store, but due to the whole situation right now, it's very limited. So I hope you guys can support the club by maybe purchasing our apparel. Our sponsor, Fat, is doing all our kits and training gear and all. I hope you guys can visit the website and support all the clubs. Not only our team but also Kaya, Maharlika, Stallions, and UCFC. And ADT. So the whole league. If you guys have the money to buy jerseys of Barcelona, Arsenal, Man U, come on, guys. Let's support local football. All right. Thanks, guys.
Yep. Absolutely.
Thanks, Del.
Coach Ernie, and then Paul, and then we'll wrap up with Eric. Coach.
Well, to our everlasting sponsor, Gilligan's, to Tito Filbert Alquiros, thank you very much for always being there, feeding the club, through thick and thin. We're Gilligan's. And to our new sponsor, Airlock, so hopefully we'll get, all the teams using that mask, in the future so that nobody gets COVID anymore. But also to the city of Binyan, our very good mayor who's been very, very proactive, Mayor Armand Limagula, Vice Jail, and Konglen, all those people have been very supportive. And to our Lakeside squad, our very loyal Lakeside squad, Ultras, who've been there for us since day one. So just for the players who we have in the squad right now and players who will be trying out for Stallions, please get back in shape, do whatever you have to do. It's your responsibility to take advantage of the opportunities that the 6 teams are offering you right now. So please, give it your best. All we can do is create opportunities. It's up to you to take it to the next level.
Right. Paul?
Yeah. So, like everyone else, I do want to thank our sponsor, LBC, who's been supporting us since the get-go. They've been around, been very loyal. They've stuck with us despite the difficulties their business went through. For that, we are forever grateful on behalf of the entire club, the staff, the players, management, everybody. We can't say thank you enough to LBC. We also have our other sponsors, Peak Form and Warren and Brown, who's also been a very loyal sponsor since, I don't want to get this wrong, but I believe it's since 2014, 2015, Warren and Brown has been around supporting the club. Thank you very much. And we look forward to continue to work with all our sponsors. To the fans, to the fan clubs that I'm aware of, Ultras Kaya, Hubon Fuerzas, Ultras City Lions. If there's another fan club out there and I'm not yet aware of you, I'm very sorry. Please do not hesitate to contact the club or contact me directly on social media, and we want to be aware of you. There's going to be a shift also within Kaya, as simple as our uniform supplier. So moving more towards a local supplier, again, supporting locally, local businesses, but also the aim in that is to make our merchandise more accessible to the fans. And we're really hoping with memberships and sign-ups and everything that you are able to get more of the swag and the goodies of Kaya Football Club. And we're going to battle in 2021. So I hope you continue to support. We definitely want the trophy, and we do not like ending seasons without trophies. So we're coming for you, CFC. Una Kaya.
Thanks, Paul. Eric?
I'm glad I have the last word here. Thank you very much. I'm going to put everybody on mute, and I'm going to have the last word here.
That's the benefit of being the champion, Eric. I don't know if that's still gonna happen by the end of the season, but you should relish it.
We've been in the beginning of the season very humble about it, but we know what we're going to get ourselves into. And if you heard the message from our captain just a few days back, you know where the fifth trophy is going to stand after the end of the season. So we are going for the trophy with or without big budget. So otherwise, we're not going to compete. If we don't think we can win, we're not going to enter a team. Anyway, so to get there, as everybody else has mentioned, their partners, we're going to do the same thing. They're all new categories, mainly from the healthcare business. So Mark and Midas have been our main supporters. So thank you to them. Monte on the apparel, Agile Wellness, Gatorade, and Sportscred. So hopefully they're going to continue supporting us. But I also want to say thank you to our founders and board members, because they've done a lot of work over the Christmas time and the New Year's time. They did not stop, and they are working very hard in the background to make sure that we are delivering a good team, a competitive team, and something that the fans can look forward to. And at the moment, we're just looking forward to the 27th when the Champions League draw comes out, because afterwards everything else will fall in place. Recruitment, training, tryouts, everything will happen after that date. So fingers crossed that we get a good draw. It's going to be an exciting time. And then on the 30th, when we have our next webinar here, we have a lot of more exciting things to talk about. So thanks a lot to everybody. And Sedel, thanks for being the host here today. We might invite you again. So we have to get together as a group to see if we want to have you back at some point. But you did very well today. Thank you.
You guys should decide that. I'm at your mercy. So, thank you, everyone. Thank you for having me. Of course, I'm very grateful, and I'm really happy just to be here and being able to help the league and of course Philippine football. Thank you so much, and that wraps up the first.
Wait. We wanna say thank you to the PFL, to Coco Torre, Attorney Gastañez, and our president Nonong Araneta as well for always being there for us.
Yeah, he's on the call. I don't know if I said something wrong on the webinar and he heard it, so maybe this is something very urgent. So, but thank you so much, of course, to the PFF and of course the PFL Thank you so much, guys. Hopefully, hope to see you soon, and we can get together and of course play the beautiful game. Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Yeah. So look forward again, fans. Look forward again to our next broadcast on the 30th. Eric.
Yes, same time.
Okay. Okay. See you guys.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
everyone. Good night.
Bye. Thanks.
Bye.
See you.
Thanks. Bye.
Eric, thank you.
Thank you very
Later.
much.